Hi, this is Chris Folino with New Vision Asia, and today I want to go over the 5 major payment term options that are going to come up when you are placing orders with your factory. So, before you go to those trade shows, be prepared for what you might face, and you'll also know what you may be able to negotiate either in the beginning or over time. These are going to range from the most favorable for the factory to the most favorable for you. So, number 1. Place that deposit and it's 100% down. This is very common in small orders where the bank charges are going to eat up any profitability for the factory. Of course, there's a lot of risk in this payment because if anything goes wrong, they've already got your money. So if you need reworks or there's a quality control issue, it's really going to be a lot harder to negotiate. So you really want to push for something that might be like number 2, which is 50% down, 50% at time of shipping. And even if you have to carry the bank charges on your side, it's going to give you a lot more protection and leverage if there's something you need to face. The 50% you're going to pay on the back end is at the time of shipment, which if it's a water shipment, then they're probably going to present a copy of the bill of lading, and then they'll ask you to pay, and once that's done, they'll release the bill of lading. But if you're doing something like an air shipment, they're going to want to see that money up front before they get the courier to come and pick that up and send it off to you via airplane. Number 3 is 30% down, balance at time of shipment. This is probably the most common payment terms you're going to hear from factories, whether you've got a long-term relationship with them or even you've just met them at a show and you ask, oh, what are your payment terms? If they know there's going to be a decent quantity, they'll most likely go with 30% down, balance at time of shipment. And that's the same as the 50-50, where they'll send you a copy of the bill of lading or they'll want you to pay before it air ships out. You could go a decade or more where this is the payment terms and neither side's pushing for anything and everything can be happy. The next one up that is after a long-term relationship with the factory where the customer may say, all right, I'm willing to give you the 30% down, but I'd like some terms on the back end. And what they mean is, here's the deposit that gets the order processing, allows the factory to buy the materials, but they want maybe net 30. So after the goods have already shipped, they've got another 30 days. It allows them to receive the goods. Maybe they shipped a little bit out and they start earning back some of that money through their sales income. That just helps them smooth out their payment processes. A factory is really going to look at what your credit history been with them. They may check around too with how you pay other suppliers. They've got the same online resources everybody else does to see if they're willing to give you those terms. The big one, number 5, is 0 money down and then terms on the back end, which this is really just a line of credit that a factory's offering you. Now, there are some big catalog companies out there that this is what they start with right away. And 90% of the time that most factories are going to tell them to take a hike because they've got no relationship together. They don't really care how big you are. They're not going to willing to take that risk. There are some out there who may do that. Now, if you're not some gigantic company, I would not recommend starting out with talking with a factory and say, I'm going to pay you nothing down and I want net 30, net 60. Don't act like a giant retailer if you're not a giant retailer, because they're just going to say no, and you're going to sour that relationship either from the very beginning or once even if it's just you've established a short-term relationship and you hit them with that kind of payment term, never going to happen. Something that you might want to ease into. But even if you have that kind of payment term, your credit better be outstanding, because the second the factories hear about you're not making terms or you miss one payment even by a couple of days, chances are that factory is just going to cut those payment terms and say, we're back to 30 down, balance at time of shipment, or they'll go 50-50. It can swing hard the other way. So really think about what kind of payment terms are not only most advantageous for you, but something that you know that you can support throughout the years. Because really, the most important part is keeping that relationship strong so they're shipping on time or doing those extra things you need. Take that, wrap it up together with what kind of payment terms you're looking for, and you'll have a successful long-term relationship with the factory. But the most important thing, whether it's your first order or your 100th order, always get a third-party inspection done on your goods before they ship out. If you like this content, please hit the like and subscribe button. This is Chris Foligno with New Vision Asia. Thank you.